So there's a topic we could touch on is Treliving. Like, we know what happened in Calgary. Now he's in Toronto. He's been handed a pretty good squad. There's lots of people that aren't impressed with his offseason. The goaltending doesn't appear to be overly upgraded, and right, 2 defensemen, I think, good, but the contracts aren't good.
I know the boys on our Leafs morning take with Alberga and Rosehill. Their take was, so we're basically, the Leafs, we're just running this thing back, right? Is what is happening.
As it stands, I think the Marner thing pressure will only mount. I know you guys have been on the record. You're thinking he's not getting moved. I still think he will. It's just going to be too uncomfortable in that market for a guy to exist when everyone's going to be like, if you just get out of here, it would be better for everyone.
But what if he does okay and the team wins to start the season, which they
doesn't really matter. I mean, the regular season, they've had 100-point seasons forever. The only thing that matters is
you're talking about how uncomfortable it'll be. But if he's putting up points and the team's winning down the road, yeah, it's going to rear its ugly head. But it's not going to be every single day.
No, that's true. It's a team that has holes. They've got maybe 2 top 4 defensemen. That's the challenge. And they've got a young goaltender that could be good but can't stay healthy, and Wool, who, if he is healthy, great. They're not a well-constructed roster at this point. And they're a year away from all this relief, where you have the $22 million combined between Tavares and Marner coming off the books.
But you're also in a window of winning, right? Like, I know that that money is a lot of money, but again, okay, Bush is 100-point. Marner's a 100-point forward.
Yep.
Like, he's a hell of a player. You should be Whitman. And what I'm getting at is Treliving probably has a sense whether he can move Marner or not. And to me, it's irrelevant. I think the market in Toronto and the way the team, I don't think it is constructed well, but I don't know what he's done to help it.
So my point would be, like, I really believe that if they can make the Marner camp come to the understanding that a move is best for all parties, and maybe they aren't able to do that. If they are, you turn him into
a Gaudreau situation.
Defense.
100%. He might be in Gaudreau territory again.
It's the opposite, because they don't want to re-up him this.
But it doesn't. My point is that you're going to lose.
You could lose another.
You need him. Yeah.
F all.
Yeah.
You're going to have a good team that's playoff bound, and you can't trade him because you've got a good team.
Yeah, you're kind of pissing into the wind if you don't try and win with this team, and I don't think he's done enough. Right? Again, this is my opinion. You're thinking he's moving. I don't. I think he's there, and I think that team, I don't know how you do it, but they should have got a better goalie, and they should have got more defensemen, and they should have went all in on this shit, because that team is good.
Yeah, the cap's tough there, but I just think it's going to be a glaring need that it's like, if we could swap Marner for a number 2-3 defenseman, God, we'd be better, and we'd probably get some cap space out of it. Damn, like that's the move we're missing to win a championship.
Marner is
the last 3 years they've had a defenseman at the blue line, a defenseman at the deadline, like
who
every single year.
I know, but who?
Yeah, it's bit pieces.
Fucking no one. Sorry, Mike.
So this is my point: is that if you had the cachet of a guy like Marner, who a team, if he likes the market, they could.
It's the Markstrom scenario. He gets to decide, though. It's not. Of course, that's a great.
Yeah.
But it's not reality, and that's what I'm saying. And I'm not. We can both be right. Well, we won't both be right, but.
It's like you say, you've got okay, if you want to be done with Marner at the end of next year, worst case scenario, he just walks, you don't bring him back. Tavares, his deal is up. There is still 82 games this season. You have
you could win a
Tavares,
cup.
who is still a good player. You've got Marner and Matthews, and you've added. You can't just throw this year away and just watch the clock tick, waiting for next summer. You gotta try and win.
No, I agree. And look, like if it's just a hard no, like we're not moving, and that's that. It's like, okay, well, you just have to live with that. And you're right. Then you go try to win.
And I don't. Sorry for cutting you off, Ryan, but why are we hanging our hat on? It's all on Marner. It's Marner.
Everyone else is locked in. Everyone else is locked in. Everyone else has no moves
in that market.
Like
yes, but that doesn't mean that it's right. F me. They're one hell of a team. Marner is a hell of a player. They've not had a goaltender or defense, and it's like, so it's Marner's fault. I'm not saying that he's played well in the playoffs, but it's Marner's fault. Like all the last 4 years, damn it, Marner. It's all you.
No,
Like,
it's
that's
absolutely
bullshit.
not that. What it is it's a roster that's not balanced well enough, and the only piece that you can move is the Marner one. Tavares is in his mid-30s, making 11. Austin Matthews and William Nylander have no moves. Like, it's just that's the only piece you can move. That's
so
it.
does Marner.
Marner has no move. Why is Marner more movable than Nylander?
Because Nylander just inked a 6 or 8 year deal.
Doesn't matter. It's the same. It's the same contract.
It's not the same, because if you sit down with Mitch's camp and say, Mitch, what do you want for the rest of your career? I want to be a Leaf for life. Like, well, look, it's not happening. So next year you're going to play somewhere else. And knowing
if you say that to a player, he's going to say F you then. Right? He's not going to do you a favor by hearing that. Like, I don't know. I guess I understand your point behind it. I just and regardless, if it was going to happen, it should have happened already. You're not going to start moving $11 million guy. Like, there's no way.
And he's not a perfect player, and he's part of why they haven't gone.
And he should be the scapegoat for him.
But to your point, when's the last time they had goaltending good enough to win? Curtis Joseph? When is the last time?
Joseph Woll was great. He's just hurt. Like, yeah. And same with D. Like, Morgan Riley's a nice offensive defenseman who can't defend, and then they've got a bunch of physical 4, 5, 6s. It's been that forever. They've not had a good blue line in goaltending.
And that's my point to Treliving, is that and maybe he wasn't on stuff, but I don't, like, you could have sent a whole different message, and I don't know how you do it with the cap spaces, but there had to be ways to package guys out, like first rounders and picks. Why can't this team win this year? Because Marner's there? Like, why can't this team, if you went and got Markstrom at half a cost, or got Connie, if you sweetened the pot to get Markstrom, again, Markstrom has to agree, but who's the other goalie that went to Ottawa?
Allmark.
Oh, my God.
Allmark.
Pardon? Yeah. Get him.
You do wonder, though, right? Because you trade Marner. Well, he's got a complete no move. Well, go get Markstrom. Well, Markstrom's got a no move and has to agree to go there. I wonder how many of those dominoes would have fallen into place, but just couldn't because of the contracts. Right?
Well, and again, all these players are talking about make money. This is the other reason why Marner takes a lot of heat, because you can do a lot of things with $11 million and they're up against cap. So again, you can't just keep the $11 million guy and keep adding star players to the roster. That's the whole problem, is that they've committed $40+ million to 4 forwards.
So what's Edmonton going to be if Draisaitl resigns?
I don't think they can do it, honestly. That's why I think could be a house of cards in Edmonton the next year. Because if Leon's gone, well, Connor's like, well, what the hell's my running mate? And Bouchard's like, well, I don't have to sign long term. I got Arbrights. I can be 1 year here and gone, or 2 and gone. Like, it's just, you have to be really, really, really smart around the edges of your roster if you're going to have that many stars. And at least in Edmonton, one of them's a defenseman. They don't have a star defenseman in Toronto. It's not a good enough blue line to win this year. All you're going to look at is a team that can score a lot and still can't get the defense and goaltending needed to win in the playoffs. That's why there's going to be all this pressure on Marner, because he's 1 year away from walking. Get a D-man for him. Just this roster is not balanced.
But he's going to be, but Tree's tying his hands too. Like, there's a mixed message then. You just overpaid Tanev. So you're going to walk and get out of
kind of did. They kind of didn't. Like,
it's the
they're
term.
just going to LTIR him, right?
But my point
it's
is
Robidas Island.
It's going to be too much money. He's not going to be able to play.
No, what it'll be is it's a good AAV, and then he's going to be too hurt to play, and he'll be on LTIR. It's a sneaky big market thing that Toronto always does. They did the same thing with Klimberg this year and with Matt Murray in net, and they've done it for ages with other players.
My whole thing is
circumvention in a sense.
I just don't think that he's gone out and tried to make this. Well, maybe he has. Again, he hasn't done enough for me to show that he believes that this team can win, or he hasn't done enough to help this team win.
His hands are tied right now. It's a tough spot, right? Because if you don't have the no move on Marner, it's like, shit, we got all kinds of options we can do. But as long as you're stuck with it, it's like, okay, we're going to lose this asset for nothing potentially.
But why not maximize the asset by saying, you know what, Mitch, we really like you. Let's have a hell of a year, win a cup, and bring you back. Like,
yeah, well, they can't with that blue line. Like, they're capped out with a shitty decoy.
Tavares is leaving, you said.
He's a year away.
So they don't need Marner and Tavares. I mean, sure, you'll always take the cap space, but you don't need both of it to.
I would imagine Tavares walks to UFA and he probably comes back on a team-friendly deal because he loves Toronto. That's not where Mitch Marner's at in his career. Mitch Marner is in his prime as he heads into free agency next summer.
Which again makes me think I'd like to find Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
I want to play.
And see, that will be the next big test, is assuming that Marner isn't traded and that Tavares is not moved, which I don't think he's not good. You get that money, 20 million, 22 million.
Yeah. What
is Brad Treliving going to do with that money?
Yeah.
Is he going to keep the powder dry and be patient and try and sculpt? Because you've got Nylander long term, you've got Matthews, you've got some pieces there. Will he have the patience and be able to avoid the temptation of maybe going out and just blowing his doors off for Leon Draisaitl for a max contract?
Well, if you get him, you just do it anyway. That's awesome. You could give 15 of that 22 million with Leon. I think you're in better shape. The interesting thing is that Keith Pelley, the president that just came in, because MLSE is this board, and it's kind of been like Shanahan talks to the GM and the board just kind of stays out of the way. Well, now all of a sudden, Keith Pelley's top of the food chain, and all he said was that winning's the only thing that matters. So it's like, that's not really the patient message from the top, because they've been patient for 8-9 years. They have nothing to show for it but one victory in the first round. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long-form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.